pledge allegiance to short invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come before you tonight, asking for your blessing over this meeting on behalf of the township residents, we also pray for all those people that were missing and or deceased in the Florida condo collapse. And let's pray for Cincinnati also with the fatal issue of shootings and so on that's going on. Amen. Roll call.
Get your speaker on.
Mr. Beck.
Here.
Ms. Lee.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here. I'm going to change the agenda just a little bit. I move to modify tonight's agenda in two places. One, I would like to delete on page 2 approval of resolution G 2021-61, resolution providing for declaration of nuisance for a property. I'm here, I get word this afternoon that the nuisance has been abated, albeit there are still some zoning issues to be brought up as follow-on effort. The second, I want to delete that item from the agenda. And the second one is the approval of following expenditures and authorization for township administrator to sign any necessary contracts, agreement, or paperwork. I'd like to delete item A because there are no changes.
Second.
Roll call on the modification.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Lee.
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
Okay, now I move for approval of the modified agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Lee.
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye. Okay, I move approval of minutes from the regular meeting minutes for June 1st, 2021, and the work session minutes for June 28th, 2021.
Second.
Okay, are there any comments or changes?
No.
Hearing none. Roll call. Oh, no, it is.
No, it is.
I thought I spoke loud enough.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
Okay. We will now hear the fiscal officer's report for June.
The major fund balances are as follows. The general fund has $2,585,465.53. The park levy fund has $821,421.85. The police fund has $724,958.67. The fire fund has $568,963.91. And the safety services fund has $2,132,816.24. I misread a line. The road fund has $942,956.95. If I said something different before, that was not correct. Our HRA account contains $31,390.99, and our major checking account, our working checking account, has an ending balance of $5,110,323.66. The meter, we don't have a meter for the previous month, but for May, which I didn't have at the last meeting, the ending book value was $8,102,309.53. We received notification from the Ohio Township Association that townships are now eligible under the American Rescue Fund for additional funding. The Senate and the House both passed resolutions accomplishing that. I don't think the governor has signed it yet, but that's the next step. We don't totally know what all is going to be, what the limitations are yet of that funding. It's supposedly, from what they tell us, it's more expansive than the first part of it, but we don't know the limitations yet. As far as our share goes, we will be receiving funds in 2 separate payments for a total of $1,569,799.37. At our July 6th trustee meeting, I had some comments. We're all aware, at least I think most of us are all aware, that trustee meetings are open to all township residents, with time made available for residents to speak publicly about their opinions, their requests, their suggestions, their complaints, and any questions they have concerning governance of the township. The trustees are generous in not restricting time allotted for residents to speak. The other side of that coin, in my opinion, is the obligation of the resident speaking to be honest, informative, civil, and be willing to listen as well as to speak. At the June 1st, 2021 trustee meeting, we were again subjected to another example of Carol Symmes' misguided expectation that she has veto power over our trustees in her insistence that the Historical Society can dictate who serves on the advisory committee for the Meade property. Volunteer committee members serve at the pleasure of the trustees, not the other way around. It reminded me of her refusal to abide by a resolution unanimously passed by the trustees to hire Paycor to process payroll for Symmes Township. She also refused to accept the opinion of our law director at that time in support of the trustees' legal right to make that change. After the change finally occurred, it came to light that 3 months of employee contributions to deferred comp were never submitted by Carol Symmes, and therefore that employee money never earned a penny towards retirement. She simply dismissed the situation by stating that Kim LaPensi was payroll administrator, another decision the trustees never made. It was Carol Symmes giving the middle finger to the trustees, the administrator, and most egregiously to the township employees. At the same meeting, in response to trustee Jody Lee's contention that the log cabin has not been properly maintained by the Historical Society, as the society is contractually required to do, Carol Symmes called Jody Lease a liar, called her a liar. And then she stands at that podium and tells lie after lie about how the log cabin has been taken care of. Anyone visiting the site over the past year knows differently. Her excuses that COVID-19 interfered and that there were no manicured lawns in 1830 don't hold water. Carol Symmes again complained about an unanswered public document request she made, the substance of which is available on the township website. Ohio revised codes do not require a response for information already available. Spoon feeding is not required by law. Jody Lee stated that she reached out to C.J. Carr in August of 2020 to meet and discuss lack of proper maintenance of the log cabin. According to her, he never responded. The first response that I saw was C.J. Carr announcing at a trustee meeting that in February of 2021, he contacted a roofing company to address the deteriorating roof on the cabin, 6 months after the request made by Ms. Lease. At this same meeting, he complained greatly about the harassment from Luann Felter relative to violations of property codes dating back to 2013. The harassment he complains about is notification of unresolved violations dating back 8 years. Think about that, 8 years. I have copies of notices sent to CJ Carr dated October 29th, 2013 and November 19th, 2013 relative to the issue. In the October 29th, 2013 letter from Luann Felter, it states, "Dear CJ, please be advised that we have received a complaint about the condition of your properties located at 12034 Cedar Drive and 12027 Cedar Drive. The resident claims that the properties have not been maintained and are unsightly. An inspection of the site by township personnel found that the complaint is valid. The properties need to be cleaned up and maintained on a regular basis. Please contact me if you have any questions." On November 19th, 2013, a letter from Brian Elliff states, "Dear Mr. Carr, thank you for stopping by this morning regarding the dumpster located in the right-of-way. As discussed, you had requested this letter advising that the dumpster cannot be permanently located within the public right-of-way as it creates a potential traffic hazard. We do much appreciate your efforts to keep the area neat and tidy, but unfortunately, we're not able to authorize permanent or even temporary location of items such as pods, dumpsters, or the like in the right-of-way due to safety concerns. Therefore, please have the dumpster removed from the right-of-way within 2 weeks. I will also send a copy of this letter to Mr. Waite so he may determine what, if any, zoning regulations may apply to the dumpster if it is moved onto private property." CJ Carr accuses Phil Beck of trespassing on his property. I guess I can say that CJ Carr trespassed on my property when he paid me an unsolicited visit when he was campaigning for a township trustee position the last election cycle. I didn't ask him to leave my property. I invited him into my home for a discussion. Seeing him at every trustee meeting for the previous 2 years, I was perplexed, curious, why he never once commented on any, not even one, of the many disturbing problems emanating from the office of Carol Symmes. He told me he was in the process of collecting facts on those issues. I told him all the information I presented at 2 years of trustee meetings were fact-based, and I had the documentation to prove it. He never asked for any of the proof. I told him I could not support him with my vote because my belief that in a trustee position he would be a mouthpiece for Carol Symmes. Returning to the issue of nuisance complaints, he whines about being held accountable. He calls that harassment. He never once disputes the validity of the claims being made in what he calls harassment. In my opinion, the township has demonstrated the patience of Job on the issue.
Seeing no presentations, no public hearings, I move approval of disbursements, warrants number 79,589 through 79,751, and vouchers 142 through 180 in the amount of $958,405.28.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
Okay. The board will now hear reports starting with the law director.
Thank you. No report tonight.
Okay. Lieutenant Tar.
No, this one.
Fire Department, Captain Hawk.
Chief, you already submitted our written report, and I don't have it.
Department of Public Director of Public Works.
Just an update on our Union Cemetery Road sidewalk project. We're probably close to halfway. We're behind schedule, like all projects, because of the weather, but it's coming along pretty good. Supposed to be done at the end of July, but it's probably going to be the end of August with the rain delays that we've had, especially the rains that we've had in the past couple weeks. Our road resurfacing project I spoke with the contractor today. They tentatively have it scheduled now. They're going to start on Kemper Road and Kemper Woods August 3rd. And they'll start in Calumet with the catch basins and curb work right around the 12th
Of August.
of August.
That's a month later than what was in our recent newsletter.
Right.
Okay. And it's all weather related.
And then as soon as the curb and catch basin work is finished, then they'll do the asphalt work, which is right now looking probably sometime around the week of the 20th, if everything goes well.
Thank you for that update. Anything else?
That's it.
I just wanted to comment, I've seen a lot of people, and everyone in that area is very excited and very thankful to us for doing that for them. So, it is a nice project.
The sidewalk.
Mhm.
Okay.
What do you think I was talking about?
Street being delayed.
Oh, no. Talking about the sidewalk.
Mhm.
Everyone understands about the
Okay.
street, yeah.
Anything else, Bill? Thank you. Any committee reports to come before the board? Seeing none. Any other comments? Now we'll open podium for hearing from residents. We ask that if you have anything to bring up, talk about, first identify yourself and your residence, and then bring up any issues, hopefully new ones only.
Good evening, CJ Carr, 10403 Willow Drive. I must apologize in a way for being late. Is it possible for you to explain what was changed on the agenda? I walked in late. I followed the website
Okay.
that said the meeting was at the
the
administration building.
The approval resolution 2021-61, declaring a nuisance for the property located on 12034 Cedar Drive,
Okay.
was removed from the agenda tonight because word we had this afternoon was that nuisance had been abated, albeit there are still some zoning issues to be ironed out.
Okay. That was the change that was made.
That was, there was a second one down at the bottom of page 2 where it says approval. A, amend the following. Since we had nothing to amend, we deleted A.
Okay.
We still have a B.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay?
As I stated in last month's meeting, I would have 12034 Cedar cleaned up, which it has been totally cleared. As for the harassment that was noted before, remaining zoning issue 12034 and 12027 Cedar Drive have been completely cleared and cleaned. I received a letter from Emily down at Hamilton County Board of Zoning dated 6/3, and also an email from Kim that shed on the property without a zoning certificate and dumpster on property without active building permits. Well, there's two things to that. Hamilton County has a site that you can look on aerial zoning. It's called Cages. I printed out a copy of it and brought it this evening. The shed that's in question, that is at this 12027 address, is not at 12027 Cedar Drive. It is on a different property in which I do not own. They've given me till the 30th, and then they're going to send fines or whatever, but it's not even on my property to even deal with the issue.
Okay. May I speak? Okay. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think that that's the thing that you should discuss with the zoning inspector.
I have discussed, Kim started it, well, I believe it started with either Kim or Luann, with her email, who then sent it to the zoning inspector. The second issue with the dumpster is, while I'm cleaning up the properties, and Brian from Hamilton County even stated in an email to the township that as long as there's an active building permit, you're allowed to have a dumpster on the property for the duration of that cleanup. There is an active building permit on both properties. Again, Hamilton County website has the Hamilton County Easy Track, which anybody can access to look up building permits. They're telling me I don't have permits. I do have permits, and I am well within the zoning code for what needs to be done. This has come from the township level, and it's been forwarded to the county.
The county is the administrator of the zoning issues, so I suggest you talk with Emily about it. That's all
Okay.
I'm saying.
So Luann's threats about turning it over to the law director if it's not removed, the township's going to turn this over to the law director in 3 days. All that has to go back through Emily. That has nothing to do with the township.
I think Emily's addressing that with you.
That would be,
what?
that would be my answer, to work it out with Emily.
Emily's addressing that with you.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, as of this meeting tonight, yeah, everything has been cleaned up, is within zoning regulations on Cedar Drive and the other items that they had
It
written
is
up.
your contention that both of the named properties on Cedar Drive have now, the nuisances have been abated. When does the building permits get closed down?
Once I get an okay that the township's okay with it, which I requested on the one property over a month ago, so that I can seed and straw it and then close out the building permit.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting on final approval from Luann or the
Okay.
township
We'll work
administrator
that through.
that everything's
Make
done and
sure
good to
that
go.
Emily has that information.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'd like the dumpster removed when the building permits are closed down.
And that will be removed. Everything that I said would be done has been done on time or well above time, because this other structure I originally said would be done the end of the summer, and last month agreed to before the end of the month. So everything has been taken care of over there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Any correspondence to be discussed? Hearing none, moving on. Events and meetings. The Zoning Commission will meet Wednesday, July 21st, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the Safety Services Center. Story time with the library will be once again back at the Meade Historic Preserve. That will be on Monday, July 26, 2021 from 10 a.m. until 12 p.m. The Board of Zoning Appeals meeting will be, the next one will be Monday, August 2nd, 2021 at 7 p.m. and they're still doing Zoom. The regular trustees meeting will be regularly scheduled Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the Safety Services Center.
I just want to make one comment. We as trustees, we schedule our meetings out a year in advance. I just want everyone to know that. So it's not that easy for us to reschedule them unless we're talking about it the month prior. So they're scheduled out a year in advance.
I think ever since I've been a trustee, we've had regular trustees meeting on the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m., albeit at the Township Meeting Hall or in this location. And we'll have other meetings, special meetings or work sessions or whatever that will be scheduled periodically throughout the year as needed. Okay, thank you, Jody. Old business, seeing none, unless anybody has something to bring up. Moving on to new business. I'd like to open a discussion concerning the request from the Loveland Youth Baseball Association regarding the field improvements at Home of the Brave Park for Fields 7 and 8. Anyone? Bill, you want to tee that up, please?
The Loveland Youth Baseball approached us about Field 7 and 8, making the infields bigger for the older children. That would open them up for a lot more tournaments and a lot more activity for their organization. They're willing to pay for the improvements. The contractor that give the proposal for the improvements is the same contractor we've used for everything else throughout the project. He met with them and went over all of the issues of removing sod, moving sprinkler heads, and the cost and timeline and all that kind of stuff. So I think it would be a nice improvement, especially since they're
I just
picking
want to
up.
make a comment. We have a really nice working relationship with Loveland Youth Baseball, and I'm glad that we have that. And if they feel that that's what they need, I'm all for it. And, I think it's great that we work with them like that.
Okay. A little bit of background is different. As the age groups progress, your pitching mound distance increases from like 40 to 50 to 60 feet 6 inches, I think. And bases go from 40 to 60 to 90 feet. What they're asking for is the smaller fields to scrape or them to pay for scraping the sod off of the infield, increase the size of the infield. So, and I hope, correct me if I'm wrong, that we can use both the 40 and 50-foot pitching mounds and the 40 and 60-foot base paths.
Right.
Okay. So we're not giving up anything for the young children, but we're adding capability for an intermediate group of children. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I just said that as a bit of background. I think it's a great idea if you can get more people to use a facility, and I'm all in favor of it. I don't know that I didn't see any resolution or anything that we have to pass. I don't know what the timing is. Kim will be back for the next meeting. What do we need to do, Jeff, in the interim? Just we approve it or not? I mean, we can bring it to a vote, actually.
Who's going to actually contract with the contract?
They are.
Okay.
I mean, the township won't be entering into any contracts for the work. The baseball organization will. So if anything, if you want to express your sort of approval of that, you could make a motion to authorize the work to be done, but the township won't be entering into any contracts or.
Can we put a provision in there basically that we get oversight?
Sure.
For Public Works?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I move to approve the request of the Loveland Youth Baseball Association to improve the fields 7 and 8 at home of the Brave Park to scrape the infield and increase the distance capabilities for an intermediate size age group of children, with the proviso that Symmes Township's Director of Public Works is informed and basically approves the final work.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck,
Quick clarification, is this, we're talking about, we're leaving the fields as is through this season, and then this would happen between this season and next season?
It'll happen at the end of their baseball season.
Okay,
It'll be something that if they do decide to do fall ball, it'll be available for them.
got
So
it.
the work will actually be done this year.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Aye.
Okay. Good question, Phil.
Mr. Bryan.
Aye. I move that we hold a discussion regarding becoming a member of the Cincinnati Community Improvement Corporation.
I'll tee that one up. I asked him to put this on the agenda just because I know we touched on it briefly last meeting, and I just want to keep it up. So I think we need to find out some more information about it, and I think we need to have a nice discussion about it. I don't think we're prepared to tonight, but I just wanted to make sure we keep it on the agenda so we can talk about it.
If my limited understanding is that they have grants that could become available to us if we were a member of the group and so on. So I second Jody's recommendation that we find out more about it and then see about committing future.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have a work session that we can talk about it or something. I don't know
Okay.
how we want to approach, but I just wanted to keep it moving forward.
Okay, Phil?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, good with that.
All right. So the result is that the consensus is that we like the idea, we want to find out more about it, and we're taking no real action tonight.
Right.
Okay. I move to not request a hearing for liquor license renewal for RTS Tavern LLC DBA Remington Tavern, 8892 Glendale, Milford Road, Symmes Township, 45140.
Second?
Okay. I'm assuming that we haven't had any complaints and so on. I would ask the Lieutenant Tar, because that's the only thing that could hold up these kinds of things, is if we had knowledge of issues. So the fact that it's on the agenda, I'm going to assume that there are none. If there are some, we'll bring it back, but, okay. Motion was made. Did I get a second?
Jody?
Second, I did.
Okay, all right. Roll call?
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
Okay, I move to set a public hearing date of Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021 at 7:05 PM for a zone change request from 00 planned residence with subservient office/major revision to an existing EE planned residence district for 9365 Fields Earl Road.
Second?
It's just a hearing, okay. Any other discussion? Okay. Excuse me. Roll call?
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
I move to schedule a special meeting in July to discuss health insurance changes. Since we have a new broker spooling up the 1st of August, it's appropriate.
Okay, so are we gonna pick a date now?
Yes.
Yes, I'm gone last week of the month of July, and this is already the 6th.
So you're gone the week of like the 25th.
24th through
Right.
31st, or 30, I don't know how many days there are.
So do we
July.
want to do like the 20th or the 22nd,
Um,
21st?
Unless anybody
20th
has
is-
any other.
I'm good with the 20th.
You're good with the 20th? Everybody's good with the 20th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then I move to schedule a special meeting July 20th. That's like a work, no, that'd be a special meeting, wouldn't it? Is that something we can do in a work session? We're discussing it. We already signed a contract with the new broker. Anyway, we'll schedule a separate, special meeting, so we have to notice it, in July on the 20th. In this location, or do it in the
Yeah.
township?
Well, they've got the meeting room filled with the current audit.
Oh, that's true.
documents. So,
Okay, let's meet here, and you want to do it early?
6?
6 PM, okay. So once again, I move to schedule a special meeting July 20th in this location at 6 PM to discuss health insurance changes.
Second?
Roll call?
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye. Okay. I move approval of Resolution G 2021-56, a resolution approving the submittal of the annual tax budget for fiscal year 2022 to the County Budget Commission.
Second. You got it.
Okay, we already had the hearing on that, right? So this is just to submit it. Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution G 2021-57, a resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into a joint agreement between Hamilton County and the Board of Township Trustees of Symmes Township for the construction of improvements to Kemper Road.
Second.
That would be between Snyder and Montgomery Road, I believe. Right, Bill?
Correct.
Okay.
Second.
Phil seconded that, keeping notes.
And while we're talking just about roads and stuff, I think, didn't we hear that we're gonna get a new bridge up by Hopewell?
They're going to, ODOT is going to refurbish or redo that bridge.
And they're gonna have sidewalks too.
And they're going to put provision for sidewalks on the one
Right.
side.
Yeah, that's
Right.
awesome.
To allow us to continue in the future the Hopewell Road
Sidewalk.
Yeah.
sidewalks.
Right.
Yep. And I think that's a result of us getting out in front of it and talking to ODOT.
Yes. Okay.
That's scheduled for 2023.
2023, that's awesome.
Okay, we have moved, seconded, discussed. Any more discussion?
One quick thing about the bridge. I know we've all taken our turns fighting for that sidewalk on that bridge, so we did a good job there, yes, for sure.
Roll call.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution G 2021-58, a resolution authorizing Township Administrator to sign a community event license agreement with Loveland School District for use of the Home of the Brave Park and Symmes Park for their Labor Day weekend cross-country race on September 4th, 2021.
Second?
Sorry. Phil's got that one.
Any discussion?
I do want to make a comment. I know last time that we had a Labor Day race, I think, was it fireworks, not fireworks, that they had that,
Yes.
what was it? Was it
Yeah.
fireworks that they set off that scared people?
Yes.
If we could just put something out on Facebook so anybody knows, I mean, we can get the word out that it's coming.
I was told they're not gonna do that this year.
Okay, that's great.
Just the starting gun.
Yeah, the gun, whatever
Just
that
the
was.
starting gun.
It was a big boom, and I know it
Okay.
scared some people.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a great event.
Great
Yeah,
event.
well attended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at the fireworks thing last year. It was early in the morning, right?
I know it was, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Roll call.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye. I move approval of Resolution G 2021-59, resolution authorizing Township Administrator to enter into an agreement with Completely Clean for cleaning service for the safety center not to exceed $26,400 for 2 years.
Second?
Okay, Bill and I talked about that earlier. We had some issues with cleaning services for that building before, and we switched to Completely Clean. It's a 2-year contract, and it's no change in the cost. And I asked him if we were satisfied with that service before we renewed it, and he says, as best we can be.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Any other discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution 2021-60, a resolution authorizing Township Administrator to sign an agreement with Hard Lines Design Company for architectural engineering services for the Mead House Restoration Project in the amount of $36,000.
Second?
Any discussion? You had a work session meeting with Hard Lines.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was not present, but I have seen the documents.
Mhm.
So. Any other comments? Roll call.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
I move approval of Resolution G 21-62, a resolution authorizing the fiscal officer to hire a records retention assistant pursuant to Section 507.021 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Second?
Discussion?
We have decades of records that we are unable to get rid of, that are tying up large amounts of storage space because they've never been inventoried. And they have to be inventoried and submitted to the Ohio Historical Society for approval before we can do anything with them. So it's, you know, we've been hitting it piecemeal for the past year and few months, but it's going to take forever to get it done if we don't get somebody in there to do it on a more regular basis and move ahead with eliminating what we don't need to store. And it makes record keeping more efficient also,
What's the timing?
whenever it's done. I would think
This
it's,
could last years or what?
oh, I don't think years, but I could see where it could last a year, depends on how
Has
efficient.
this come up? Have we discussed this on I don't know anything about it.
Well, then you don't read emails. I sent you an email on June 7th. I addressed all three trustees, and I addressed our legal director,
Okay, you guys have seen this?
proposing what I wanted to
Remember the
do.
issue.
I contacted the State Ethics Commission, talked to the head attorney there for her opinion on it, got her opinion on it, because the person I'm proposing to hire is Megan LaPense, Kim LaPense's daughter, and I knew there was an issue, a potential issue of nepotism here that I didn't want to get embroiled in. So I sought legal advice before I did anything. From the answers I got from the state level and from our legal director, as long as Kim LaPense's not hiring her, as long as Kim LaPense's not managing her, as long as she's not answerable to Kim LaPense, there is no violation of nepotism laws with the State Ethics Commission or our own legal officer.
Well, I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Salary been set? I mean, in discussion here, there has to be
Well,
something.
the resolution that I went over with Luann, because I wanted it voted on tonight, was for $15 an hour. And it's a part-time, intermittent job.
For how long?
It'll be for at least a year, I'm sure.
Is she gonna be able to do that? Is she
Wait,
going off to
can I
college?
ask a question too?
She'll be at college at Xavier.
Okay.
Well, is
So
there,
she'll be local.
did we put this out,
Yeah, did we advertise for it?
advertise and see
No.
who else applied?
No. I mean, if you want to hire somebody else, that's fine by me, but we need to hire somebody.
Could we advertise and do interviews?
Yeah, that's what I think.
We could, sure.
I know it will postpone getting it started.
Well, it's been years. It's been
Okay.
years in the waiting,
what's
so
another month?
postponing it a little
Here-
bit more isn't gonna hurt anything.
I'm not gonna get into the controversy here, but I did not get your email. Okay. Did you send it to the right one?
It didn't bounce back, that's all I can tell you.
Well, I don't monitor my old ones.
Yeah.
I've told everybody. Okay, so, you wanna vote on this, or you wanna table it and find out more information?
I think we need to advertise for it just to see,
Okay.
to make
All
sure
right.
that we're.
Here's what I wanna do. I wanna table this thing and bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, if it's taken years to accumulate.
But you want, before it's brought back, you want the position advertised for, correct?
Yeah.
I think we owe it to our
And if anybody else
public to
puts
do.
in for it, I think, and if they're a candidate, they should be
I don't mind
interviewed.
posting what the salary would be, because
Yeah.
that might turn somebody off, but,
Yeah,
okay, let's be fair about it. And
Yeah,
it's a
definitely
part-time
need
job
to
and
be
no
fair.
benefits, right?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And I'm gonna
And that's
move
not
to
gonna
table
turn our number over.
this approval of 2021-62.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know Kim always talks about we can only have so many employees.
It's part-time. Doesn't
Even
count.
if it's part-time, it
It
doesn't count? Okay.
Because
I just wanna
no
make sure.
benefits, it doesn't count.
Okay. I just
I
wanna make
think
sure.
we're down one now.
Yeah, with Marcus, we haven't
Yeah.
replaced him.
Yeah, but I'm sure we're looking to
Yeah.
replace him, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I move to table Resolution G 2021-62, pending further discussion and posting of the job description.
Second.
Okay. Roll call. Table.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Bryant.
Aye. Jeff, we did that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Since I had moved approval as written, all I did was cancel it, right, or table it, all right. Okay. I move approval of the following expenditures and authorization for Township Administrator to sign any necessary contracts, agreements, or paperwork. Namely, item B, an expenditure not to exceed $900 for Will Burns to attend the Ohio Association Emergency Vehicle Technicians Incorporated Training in Columbus. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Second.
Second, okay. Do we have dates on these? Were they in the original?
Yes, it's
Okay.
end of September. I don't know the exact date, but it's in the,
Okay. All right. Motion, second, discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees.
Aye.
No executive session tonight, so I move to adjourn.
Second.
Jody seconded. Jody seconded.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Okay.
Mr. Bryant,
Aye.
Ms. Lees,
Aye.
Mr. Beck.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.